there was a huge Xbox blowout today. And I know I'm a minute late. Calm down, folks. But I am here. And oh my God. There's so much to talk about. There's so much to talk about. And I'm going to discuss everything to my knowledge. There's some stuff I might have missed that we're going to see live reactions of during this stream. We are also going to see maybe a friend or two jump in here to offer their opinions on some things. And just lots of shenanigans, potentially, this stream. But hello, Mercury, Marcus, Pretty Gissel, there we go. And it wasn't pretty late, Gissel. And I actually just started like about a minute ago, so I was like a minute late. And to answer this question by Marcus, you seem stressed. It's just because there's so much news. And I've been away all day today. I've been on a freelance gig. I can't wait to be here full time. I cannot wait to be here full time. To which, speak of the devil, shout out to Mercury, who was the first person here who is a patron. And thank you very much, dude. If you want to support the channel, become a patron. But also, if you just feel like doing a one-time thing, link in the description. But, folks, Xbox finally did it today. Granted, they were forced to do it. But they finally did it. They had their blowout of basically all of their details. And by the way, chat, is my audio okay? Can you let me know, is my audio okay? They basically did their blowout of all of their details. We know the Series S, which yesterday that just got pushed out. Which we're going to talk about the leaks. We have so much to talk about. We're going to talk about the leaks. We're going to talk about the Series S being revealed. We're going to talk about the Series X price being revealed. We're going to talk about EA Play apparently being included now in Game Pass. Effing mind-blowing. The pricing of both of these systems, the release date of both of these systems, even pre-order details, which I haven't looked at yet, by the way. I don't know if there's any more details other than the pre-order date, but we'll talk about that. And especially, what is Sony's next move? During the stream, I welcome, I'm already kind of like reaching out to a couple friends to see if they would like to jump on the stream to offer their take for like 5 minutes. But also, patrons, I'm reaching out to you if you feel like you're watching the stream, and if you pay attention, I will have moments where I'm welcoming anybody to jump in our hashtag group game watch voice chat if you want to offer your take on something. But yeah, thank you guys very much for coming by. There's a lot to talk about. That's why I'm doing this in a stream format, because I've been away all day today on a video shoot, and I haven't been able to cover this content, and I'm just like, there's too much to cover, and I'm way late already, so why not just have a stream about it? So that's why we're here. That's what we're going to talk about. Lots of shenanigans. And I got a buddy that is already ready to jump in here. Taylor, if you're watching this, I don't know, man. I might have my buddy Taylor jump in, so we'll see. Really quick, just want to see any initial thoughts you guys have. I'm going to run through each of these points. I don't even know. I don't know what the structure of the stream is, but I'm curious what you guys have to say really quick. I'm going to look at the chat here. Anybody else? Who dat is here. Hello, good sir. Matt, hello. My best buddy Matt is here. Aura. Matt, would you like to jump into this? I didn't hear your Vox. I don't know if you, I sent you a question on our Discord. If you feel like jumping in and answering that question, feel free to let me know through Discord or this chat. In fact, if any of my friends are watching this that I've reached out to, if you would like to eventually jump on the stream for like 5 minutes, then let me know. But Mercury, here's a question. What do you think about this has nothing to do with Xbox, but I'll look at it. What do you think about the NVIDIA 30 series? Heard NVIDIA has also been working with Nintendo Switch too. Also, yes, audio is fine. Thank you guys for letting me know that the audio is fine, by the way. I have no thoughts about the NVIDIA thing, Mercury. I'm not a PC gamer. I'm very curious PC gamers' perspectives on this dealio that, like, especially Xbox All Access. That's another thing we need to talk about. But I have no thoughts about that thing other than... if you want to spend over $1,000, that's an amazing card for you. I don't feel like spending over $1,000. I feel like spending $500 to have a Series X. But Joey Strike, one of the newest patrons in the fam. We got a new patron today, by the way. So I need to see who that was. Again, I've been so caught up in everything else I've been doing today. But a shout out to Joey Strike. He is a new patron, member of the Kibiji clan. He says, woo, got out of work early. Awesome, dude. Glad you made it this stream. And if you feel like jumping in to offer your opinion, let me know. Javion, hello, good day, good sir. Curious if you have any thoughts on Xbox. I know you're my Nintendo buddy. But who dat? What got me surprised was to see a digital Xbox with next-gen specs. And I see Eric Costi. Imagine if Ubisoft also joined Xbox Game Pass. I don't. We'll see. But who dat actually leads me into the first topic here that I don't know if Taylor's watching, but maybe I'll just ask him at some point here. But I'm going to have some friends jump into the stream. But let's start off with who dat. He brings up what surprised me was to see a digital Xbox with next-gen specs. So it's not surprising to see it as a next-gen thing, because all that's required for a next-gen thing is just to have the hardware needed and blah, 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 blah. Like, that's just the specs. But the disk drive has nothing to do with that. That disk drive has nothing to do with how the games run. So that's not too surprising to me. What is surprising to me is how damn tiny that system is. I don't want to talk about the Series S too much because I already did a full-on video about that. But it does surprise me how tiny it is. And there is no way Sony is willing to undercut that. $299, there's no way that's being undercut. That is for sure going to be the low ball of this next-gen era, you know? You can't get any cheaper than $300, I feel like. Like, I don't think PlayStation would ever do that. And they don't need to. We'll talk about that later, but they don't need to. So, yeah, Xbox has the most cheapest option and very, very approachable one, too. Because I got a question for the chat, and I want to see it kind of spam here. How many people here have a really good 4K TV? Seriously. And if you don't have one, say, I don't. And if you do have one, say, I do. How many people here do you have a very good 4K TV? Because that's the thing. The Series S, for PC gamers, they are very approachable because they're already used to that digital life. They already know that digital life. And, you know, that might be something fine to them because they're just already used to just having digital all the time. And that's all the Series S is that they got rid of that disk drive. It's GPU wise, it's a third as powerful as the Series X. But everything else makes it a well-built console that is actually a bit superior to the One X. Price the same, which is funny. And it can run next-gen games, run 2K at over 60 frames per second. I'm just saying. That might be a very approachable console if for those that don't have a good 4K TV. I don't see anybody in the chat saying the 4K thing, so I don't know. I guess you guys didn't respond to that. But I'm just guessing. Oh, wait. Actually, no. I'm sorry. I didn't scroll down. Okay, see. I see Capone saying, I don't. Mercury, I don't. Chum says, I do. Marcus says, nope, I don't. Javion says, no, I don't. Matt says, no, I don't. I literally have a TV from like 2013. Same, Matt. Eric, I don't. That's 6. There's 2 for I do. I just got so that's 3 for I do. Okay, so for the most part, people don't have a nice 4K TV to go with it. So that's what I'm saying. And there's my buddy Taylor. He says, I don't, but it's definitely something to look into at the least, in my opinion. Also, hi, guys. Taylor might jump into this show in a bit. Taylor, actually, I'm curious, if you jumped into this, between, like, EA Play joining Game Pass and the Series S, the pricing, curious if there's, like, 1 or 2 of those you would especially want to comment on. Because Taylor might jump in here for a moment, guys. It's my buddy. But yeah, Series S is just approachable. That's it. It's a legit lowball. And it's tiny. It's freaking tiny. That thing is so small. Who dat? So my idea is that Microsoft will be dropping series of Xboxes every other year, and the PS5 will be at least 500 to 600. I'll get to the Sony stuff later, but that they've set themselves up for that. Xbox has. They could just have a new series console every other year. Yeah, totally. Who dat also says, I don't have a TV that goes to 1440. The highest is 1080p. That's what I mean. My TV can't go past 1080. I'm gonna get a new one. I'm saving up, but yeah. So let's get to this next topic because Mercury 2K60 is nuts for a console. It's scary how far consoles are progressing. Yeah, man. And the Series X can run 4K 60. It's freaking bonkers. Siri thinks I'm talking to her. I don't know why, but let's hit this next topic here really quick. So, wait, I see Joey here. I have to turn off audio for a bit. Someone keep me updated on the discussion, please. Sure thing. Taylor says, most definitely EA. Slightly bigger hype for me. I figured, dude. I think you'd be a perfect person to talk to about. I'm hoping my buddy Matt wants to get in a call with me for a moment, and I have an idea for him. And for Taylor, I think he'd be great to talk about the EA thing, which, speaking of which, Taylor, we might have that conversation right now. Really quick, to give the reference, EA Play has now joined Xbox. And what I mean by that is EA Play is now, if you don't know what EA Play is, then it is basically another subscription model that you basically get access to a ton of EA games. Some of them you even get access to early before the game even comes out. And yeah, it's a real freaking thing. EA Play is now compound with Xbox Game Pass. And to me, that is the most monumental announcement today. 100%. I mean, that could be argued. But to me, this is fucking crazy. Like, I want to do a video about this alone. But that's what this live stream is for. But EA Play, again, is a subscription where you get to play a bunch of EA games, Sims, Madden, Battlefield, Battlefront, Apex. Well, Apex is already free, but Titanfall, Dragon Age. You know, there's a lot of big properties with EA, and now with an already crazy valued subscription, you now get EA Play included with it. It's not as of now, by the way. It starts, I think they said December, like in the holidays, which of course they wanted to line up with the launch of Series X and S. I have to say that now. But that's just monumental to me. That's monumental. And there's a lot of people that might be surprised that EA would possibly agree to this because a lot of people distinguish EA as like money grongers. But Microsoft has a lot of money. And I'll discuss that with my boy Taylor here in a moment. But let me see your guys' thing really quick. Who dat? What if Xbox bought EA? 100% not possible. EA would never let themselves be bought by Microsoft. That absolutely would never happen. How many games is that total? I'm not sure, Capone, but it is a lot. It is a lot. Steffi, that's a lot more games for Xbox. Will the cost of Game Pass change? That's the thing, Steffi. They made, and what's interesting here is that they say Xbox Game Pass. They're not saying Game Pass Ultimate. They're saying Xbox Game Pass. Because again, Xbox Game Pass, you pay like $10 a month for either PC or Xbox, and you get the 100 game catalog. But if you pay for Game Pass Ultimate for $15, you get both those catalogs, Xbox Live and xCloud coming out basically now, and well, actually no, there is no other and, but it's saying Xbox Game Pass includes EA Play. So I wonder if that's, you just get it if you get Game Pass or if you have to get Game Pass Ultimate. But that's just a monumental move. To me, that is a monumental move. That is absolutely insane. But to answer Steffi's question, they have not said that they are going to add anything to the Game Pass subscription, which I don't see how they haven't. I really don't see how they haven't risen Game Pass to like $15 a month and then $20 a month for Ultimate. Like that, it's crazy. It's freaking crazy. But to add a bit more onto this subject, I want to try to get my boy Taylor in here, who you might have heard of from Social Madness. And he is a EA player. He doesn't play all the games, but he's played a good chunk of the things that they've released. And I'm going to try to get him in here for a moment, if I can, to offer his take. And, dude, well, I'll save that for a moment, but how do I get him into a thingy? Babadoo. I just create a party. But, yeah, what do you guys think about that? Like, what do you think about EA joining the likes of freaking... EA Play is now, which by the way, that doesn't mean all their games are just on Game Pass now. What it means, it's like it gives you a Spotify subscription. It gives you a Spotify subscription, and yeah, that's what that means, and you basically get to access EA Play. That's basically it. You get to access EA Play, and here we go, inviting him to a party. Let's see if I can get Taylor in here. Taylor's my fellow gamer, a buddy. Let's see. There he goes. Hello.
Hey, am I coming in okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, you know what I realized?
Oh.
I might be able to play Battlefield 5 with you now.
Yeah, hold on. I'm watching you on YouTube, and so there's like a 3-second delay, and then there's a 5-second delay.
You have to mute me on YouTube. You have to mute me on YouTube.
I have to close that YouTube real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty insane. Like you hit the nail on the head with like, this is like the weirdest paired up like combination. Game Pass or just Game Pass in general and EA. One, at least for me, that's coming like straight out of left field. I haven't unfortunately been keeping up a lot with the gaming industry, but that is a good surprise. And I saw in the comments, unfortunately I can't like scroll past far enough without delaying too much, but somebody mentioned like, oh, they're probably making up for like Halo Infinite not being able to launch with the console as they wanted to originally, and that seems like a good theory. But at the same time, I'm also thinking EA is not struggling, but they definitely have not been on the positive when it comes to consumer friendly.
So here's my idea.
And so I think this is
because there's some folks that like, you know, they were saying like, what if Xbox or Microsoft bought EA or whatever. My theory, and you and I have had good conversations about EA, but what in your opinion do you think or Microsoft specifically did to make this happen? Do you think this is in the works for a while? Like, I have an idea, but I'm curious what your perspective is.
I feel like Microsoft's like
same question
came in with like God, what is that? The good cop, bad cop routine. Shined the light on EA's face and was like, "Look, we know you're going down the drain. You don't have the most positive opinion when it comes to the community. So here's our offer." And they pretty much just like either signed a big check and was like, "How does that look for you?" And EA did EA things. Were like, "Nah, that's not enough. You know, we're the best. We got our own subscription. We don't need yours." And like, how about we do this for you? And I some kind of money work or change hands and other like stuff in the background. And I guess it was just enough for EA to be like, all right, let's give it a try.
Yeah. I think, okay, so here's my idea that, because I don't think EA would have agreed to this without any like big incentive, you know? And I mean, it depends, but my idea is that they don't have anywhere near as many subscribers as Game Pass.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay? Yeah. What if, like, you know, let's just say Game Pass has like the amount of subscribers, and then Xbox is like, okay, because your subscription will now become part of our membership, you know, we will offer you a percentage of the revenue. That makes sense.
That does make sense, but I also just like realized like a lot of I guess they're big. Like EA's biggest sellers are like sports games, so like FIFA and stuff like that. And I know with a lot of PlayStation users, those are really popular titles. And this is like another way for EA to like even stretch even further to get more into Xbox. Because Xbox is not like really, I mean, unless there's like a sale, like they have the Ubisoft sale, the EA sales, and stuff like that. But other than that, there's nothing going on for EA in the Xbox market, other than like the Battlefield series, which I know is very popular for a lot of Xbox users and whatnot. So this is them like pretty much getting their foot in the door. Like, hey, by the way,
You'd be surprised how much sports games sell. I had no idea, but apparently sports games sell good. I did
they're
not know that.
monumental, I would say. I think that would be like the biggest chunk for most gamers, more even casual gamers who don't even, they bought a console strictly to play NBA games, FIFA games, you know, the golfing games. I forgot.
I want to I want to hit you with one more question because then I'm going to get back to my because I'm curious what the chat thinks of what we're saying too. But hypothetically, if there was any game from EA that you might have never had access to, but now you do because we're both Game Pass people. Well, wait, are you still on Game Pass?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what is the game that you're really like, maybe I'll actually give that a chance now? For me, I really hope Battlefield 5's on there, like, because then I can finally play with you and Paul.
Honestly, I think it is because I just like Googled like real quick before we even started this, like what's on like games on EA Play and stuff like that. And obviously they have
as well. Actually, that's my number one. Never mind. Battlefront 2, then Battlefield 5.
They have Battlefield 5 on here. I see Star Wars Squadrons is going to be on here for both Battlefield or Battlefronts. I'm sorry, all like a good chunk of the Maddens. But for the most part, I've played a lot of these games on Xbox already, and I'm not a big like sports person. But the only one I can see on this quick list that kind of piques my interest is the first Crysis, because I never got a chance to play that way back in the day. But I got a taste of it from a friend who had a PC who was able to run it, and he spent a lot of money on that PC trying to make it run. But that would probably
Mirror's
be the one
Edge
that piques my
is
interest.
on here. That is actually a game I've always wanted to try too. So, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get back to the stream, but thank you for the take. And did you guys play Minecraft Dungeons without me?
Yes, we did.
I hate you all. Just
Love you too.
Okay, I don't know how to end this. Yep, bye. All right, so that was my buddy Taylor. Just wanted to get his take. I'm going to have a few people jumping in. And actually, if a patron's watching this, I welcome you to jump in and offer an opinion on a certain matter if you feel like you'd like to offer one. But that's me and Taylor's conversation about EA Play, and curious to you guys as well. All the questions I asked him, like what's something from EA that you would actually be interested to play if you didn't have to pay a full price for it, or even anything at all. Just the idea, or even upcoming games, like he just mentioned, Star Wars Rogue Squadron. That's not even out yet, but they're saying that that'll probably be on their day one. I don't know if that's how EA Play works. Just saying. For Honor is Ubisoft, Capone. So yeah, that's a big move today. Whodad, I think the move was made, but they already had plans to join. Could be, man, but that's just a big, it's just, I can't believe that shit. I can't believe that. That's the most monumental thing, but let's get into the other freaking topics. Okay, I don't even remember what the other topics were. Pricing! Let's get into the freaking pricing. And Pretty Gissel says, wow, 24 people. Is that true? Awesome. I did see Miguel earlier. I just came here to say your console is trash. Thank you, Miguel. I appreciate your enthusiasm for your passion. I'm sorry somebody hurt you in your life. I say that to folks that are like, their focus is to just diss the other opponent. And it's like, why do they have to be an opponent? Why do they have to be trash? Xbox is my console, but it's not like I'm just straight up biased for it and gonna say nothing PlayStation is awesome, because PlayStation has a lot of awesome shit. So I don't know. But anyways, pricing. We now know what the Series S and X prices are. And let me see if I can get an image of this and pull it up here. I actually already have like a bunch of images on my thing. But, ooh, look at this. Let's see. What do we got here? Oh, okay. There's. I'm trying to find, but basically, the Series S is going to be $299. Again, a great digital console. So if you're willing to sacrifice physical copies of things, then, and you don't have a great 4K TV, the Series S, the smallest Xbox they have ever made. It's whenever I say Series S, that's when she thinks I'm saying Siri. Will be $300. However, the Series X, the console that can do 4K, will be $500. And this comes from, here we go. I can load this up. So here's the image right here. And in fact, I need to mess with my display because I have a filter on. There we go. Boom. But yeah. What do people think about this? Because first off, I wish I could be a fly on the wall in Xbox's room when this leak happened. Because if you don't know the reference, Xbox basically got the situation leaked. In fact, there's the funniest meme ever if you go to their Twitter. Let's see. Oh, Phil Spencer. This is the president of Xbox. I know it's been a wait for a price pre-order date. Thanks to the community for their support and encouragement. Great to see reactions. Really proud of how the team handled the unscripted announce. Was supposed to be next week, but oh well. Can't wait for the launch. Wow. They got the head of Xbox to address that. So basically what he's getting at is that this was not supposed to happen like this. Like, there was a leak about both the consoles. That was not planned in the slightest. There's multiple people I've been listening to that can confirm this. And this leak basically forced them to get it out and become the story themselves instead of a leak. And even Phil Spencer here acknowledges it. Really proud of how the team handled the unscripted announcement. That's freaking funny. But whoever's handling Xbox's social media, oh, where is it? I hope there was a funny ass meme. I really hope it's still up. Oh, 12 hours ago. Come on. I know there was this funny ass meme. Didn't know if we could. Oh my God. Where is it? Come on, please. There it is. This is it. This is why Xbox's social media is the freaking bomb. So they posted this meme. They posted this meme when the Series S got leaked. They literally posted this within hours of the Series S getting leaked. The official Xbox Twitter. This is why. This is why their social media is just... It's like Phil said, they handled the situation very just like, what are we going to do? You know what? Let's just get ahead of it. Let's just do our best. We got to make the best of the situation. Let's just get ahead. But they're willing to have fun with it too by just posting a meme like this. But here we are. The prices of the Xbox Series S, the newly revealed console at $299, and the Series X at $499. I want to hear what you guys think about these prices first. What do you think about, is it pretty spot on what you were thinking? Are you in a struggle because like you don't want to sacrifice that disk drive? So it's like you want to get the one with the disk drive, but the one with the disk drive is too expensive. Are you wishing that, like, I wish there was a digital version of the Series X that was priced at like $399 or something? Do you think these are very fair? And yeah, I'm just curious, like, what you guys are thinking and where you're going to go from here. Let's see what the chat's saying. Pretty Jissel. Lamau, this was pretty funny. That meme was so funny. Pretty Jissel. Taylor, I want to be in the room where it happens. Dude, I wish so badly, because, they were probably all like, can't take this shit anymore. Because it's their fault, I have to say. If any leaks or anything like that happen to PlayStation or Xbox right now, it's their goddamn fault. Because this game of chicken has gone on long enough. And I appreciate that Xbox is the first ones to do it, even though I love that Phil clarifies. I didn't know that. Like, I'm reacting to this now. I love that Phil is clarifying We intended this to be next week. So they intended this to be next week and just have a big blowout, but they're like, you know what? Let's just do it a week ahead of time. What the frick ever. I wonder what was going to be different, though. But I really wonder what went on in that room. Nova. Sucks to be in Australia. Series X is $750 and Series S is $500. What? I don't understand foreign currency. That's ridiculous. God damn, that's crazy. Pre-Gisel. Oh, so Series S is fully digital? I just remembered. Yeah, Series S, that's why it's so tiny. It doesn't have a disk drive, so that's one of the reasons they could compact it so much. And it's also not generating as much power and heat, I'm guessing. I don't know. Like, Matt, I'd love to keep a disk drive, but I haven't used a disk drive of any kind in 3 years. That's what I mean, Matt. That's why I want... Matt, can I get you in a Discord call? I want my buddy Matt here to be like from the PC gamer's perspective, because that's my best buddy, and he is like a hardcore, like that's all he plays on is PC. And that's why I'm saying the Series S just might be that console that PC gamers would want. Is just something that can do 2K. You know, 2K is still great. Great 1080p. It's like easy 1080p, 120 frames per second probably. But yeah, that just might be the console for the PC players. Rice Man, it's fine and fair, he says. Brennan, this is super well priced in my opinion. I agree. Oops. Ignore my breathing. Let's see. Brennan Jones says, this is super well priced in my opinion. This is perfect because it's... What's funny is that the Series X is twice as powerful as the 1X, and the 1X launched at $499 as well. That's just what inflation is, man. Like iPhones, they've always been like $500 to $800, but the technology, they're like way more powerful than they used to be back in the day, but yet they're still the same price. That's just what technology inflation is. Matt says yes, I can. All right, awesome. I'm gonna get you in a Discord call, buddy. Marcus, yes, it's a struggle. I like my disk drive, but the S is a great start point. That's the hard part, man. Like it would be nice if there was a middle ground or something, or maybe they had like a disc version of the Series S and a disc-less version of the Series X. I don't know, but you got two solid options here. And we're going to talk about in a moment the way that you, even if you think you can't afford either of these, there is a way. And that way is the greatest deal in gaming fucking period. Like, that guy earlier, I think it was Miguel, he can come back in and trash me if he wants, but there's no arguing the deal that I'm going to talk about in a moment. But Steffi, I was hoping the X was priced around $499 and not over. Here we go. Perfect. Although S is a great price, I'm not fond of the size of the memory for a digital-only console. That's a very good point, Steffi. Steffi's bringing up the point that the Series S is, let's see here. I'll put on the, nope, no. I don't want that. I want the trailer. Because what Steffi is referring to is the Xbox Series S has only a total of 500. This is a really dope trailer, by the way. If you haven't watched it, it's awesome. It has a total of 512 gigabytes. Now, that is concerning, and I agree, Steffi. I wish that they got to a terabyte, but they had to cut their corners to make this the price that they did, like a $299 console. And you can buy their Seagate expansions that they're partnered with, and it's these cards that are like a terabyte each. I wish it was more, but they had to cut corners somehow to make it cheaper. But there's this whole conversation. I mentioned this in the previous video. I shouldn't talk about this too much because I have a video about this that I talk about this already. But just basically, games actually will get smaller on SSDs. Games aren't going to get bigger. They're going to get smaller because primarily games with like big file sizes is mostly because the developers need to have the player download all of these files so the game loads easier. But SSD drives instead of HDDs, they're going to be able to load things quick. So players are not going to have to download as much when they download the files. So basically what I'm getting at is games could wind up being smaller. And they already are getting smaller. Doom 2016 was like 40 gigs. Doom Eternal has twice as much content. It's 26 gigs. Ori and the Blind Forest was like 20 gigs. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is like 12. For some reason, games are getting smaller. I don't know, but I think that's a legitimate point. In my opinion, the only thing that brings me back to the console is full MNK support without needing to buy an external piece of hardware. I have no idea what you're talking about, Merc. But I love that meme so much. Taylor, PlayStation better not throw away their shot, dude. I'm going to get to that. But really quick, I want to see if I can get my buddy Matt in here. As a PC gamer, and this might appeal to Mercury, I have some people that say like, okay, I'm a PC gamer. Why would I buy this console? And that's a good question. I have my reasons. I want to get my buddy Matt's opinion on this, and I am going to give him a little call here. And hopefully he answers. Hello!
How's it going?
Good. You might have to do what Taylor did and mute your computer or whatever if you're watching.
Oh, I did. I think I'm like a solid 2 seconds behind or something, but this is fun.
Is there a way to make this go full screen? No. Okay.
Look, everybody, there's the camera that I want.
So I typed out this question to you because, Matt, you are a PC gamer hardcore, correct?
Oh, yes.
And
well, okay, let's put it this way.
You occasionally game on PS4, but go ahead, share your take on that real quick.
I was about to say, I'm more so, I love anything PC related, including games, but in terms of just particularly games, raised Xbox, but I have transitioned into the master race that is PC.
Okay, the master race. So we were talking about this the other day about the whole like PS5's exclusives, and now there's this kind of accessibility element of Xbox. Because the Series S is like all digital, isn't that kind of what you're used to already?
It is, especially through like Steam, or you introduced me to the Xbox Game Pass, and I haven't. Right. Okay, so literally just so I could expand.
Except what we play.
Well, okay, yes, that. But also, like, I have a disk drive in my computer right now, but even that, I don't have power to it. I have it dedicated to another hard drive, which is actually used for gaming. So, like, and I like the idea of using a disc or having a physical copy of something for memorabilia's sake or just for materialistic sake, but recognizing I actually don't need it, and this is dramatically cheaper than having a disc with or
Ian
inside
brought up an
the
interesting
console.
point with me, and he's like, you won't be able to watch any of your Blu-rays on that console anymore.
Yeah, well,
That's
actually, funny
point.
enough,
When he said that,
that
I
is
was
a
like,
very
I
good
got
point.
a lot of Blu-rays.
But it's interesting that he brings that up because I still have my PlayStation 4 with me.
Yeah.
So I could play Blu-rays off of that.
Yeah.
And so, like, I guess the reason why I really enjoy PC is, like, it has a little bit of everything that I need. If I gave it power, then I could play a Blu-ray off of my... I need to turn off your video because I'm reacting to a face that you made 2 seconds ago. The only thing that, in my opinion, like my PC is missing is just the PlayStation exclusives. However, it's really enticing because you and I have mentioned this before as well, where like when I'm on a console, I'm just gaming. I'm not thinking about work. I'm not thinking about documents. I'm not thinking about anything. Like there's this weird just gaming zone that you get into with a console as opposed to having a PC. So that is honestly really enticing. And considering I want to upgrade my computer, which is going to cost close to $2,000 versus a $300 option.
That's my like that right there. So like versus the $300 option. So like that's kind of my number one argument I would say against any PC gamer is, and it's not necessarily I'm trying to tell them like embrace the Xbox way or even just console.
No,
way,
for sure.
But like the one thing I don't think that can be disputed necessarily is that in chat, let me know if I'm wrong here, is people are boasting about like what the Series X can do. Like you're running games in 4K at 60 frames per second. Arguably even higher. They're saying it might be able to even do 8K whenever, but whatever.
Damn.
but it's like to build a PC that can do something like that. People are talking about this like new, I don't know if you heard of it, like Mercury asked about it earlier, this 3080 NVIDIA card.
It's like incredibly new. It like the news came out like what, less than a week ago or something?
Right. And it's immensely powerful. It's like 5 times as powerful as the Series X is going to be. But how expensive is that thing? And also, how expensive is like even a 2080 or something that like does go as much as the Series X is? And then that's just for the graphics card.
Yeah.
Like the graphics card alone is probably $500. And then you got to get the motherboard, the CPU, the cooling, and the power brick and the case.
Oh yeah. I think in a way, I remember having this conversation a long time ago as well, which was every gamer has somewhat different needs, or say like the needs that I have today as a 25-year-old playing video games versus the needs I had when I was 19 versus the needs I had when I was 13 years old playing games are completely different. Even like right now, if I were, I don't know, if I were just getting into video games, I'm not quite sure what games I want to get into. The Series S, whichever one the $300 version is probably a pretty good deal, because if I'm 13 years old, maybe I just want to try certain stuff out. And that on top of like Game Pass, you can download or whatever you want. You don't have to wait for a disc or anything. You can just go and play it right then and there. And that's really cool. Or say like, okay, well, I don't play, like I play a ton of indie games, or I play a ton of games that are too intense, and that might be a really good option. Or say you're old school, you could be, okay, I'm going to grab a console for my dad, and I'm rich, and I can do that.
Oh yeah,
so I can
like the 100% the console that like parents are just going to buy their kids, kind of a thing, or just as a gift that don't know what they might want. They're going to buy that Series S, because who knows, they might even like promote it in a way that's like. We're going to include a trial of Game Pass Ultimate, where buy this cheapest console of the next gen with over 100 games included, and that's all like the parent will see, kind of a thing. So we'll see.
I think an interesting approach is like it's similar to a cell phone. Like you look at Galaxies or LGs or iPhones. There's so many different versions that all kind of provide at the end of the day the same thing. It's calls, text messaging, internet. And consoles outside the exclusive stuff pretty much do the same thing, but like there's different certain aspects of each console, even with whether it's like just Xbox or between Xbox and Xbox, between Xbox and PlayStation, that's always going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
So I can imagine like buying my dad the more expensive version because he actually likes having discs for something.
That's a dilemma.
And as opposed to like, I don't know. It's interesting. It's really interesting. It's tempting for me to get a console when it's that cheap.
Yeah. And like I asked the chat earlier, you said you didn't have a nice 4K TV to go with it, so
I don't.
And that's what I tell. And it's like you're already used to it. That's my point. Is that you're already doing all digital, and you don't have a 4K TV. I'm not telling you to get the Series S. I'm just saying if you decided
for sure.
to. It's like I was like, this is the console for Matt, but you're gonna get your cat
it lines
up
up really well,
so.
Dude. That's the thing though. I love Xbox.
I need to wrap this up.
And
with
Microsoft.
We can't go too
okay.
far.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to say though, just the exclusives.
Yes, I'm gonna. I'm gonna
it.
get to the Sony conversation in a moment, but yes, I understand. Okay,
That's
I'm gonna end this.
Okay, love you.
Wait, there you go. There's your gift. Okay, bye. All right, so that's my best buddy Matt. So there's the conversation about the prices. And I see somebody bringing up this conversation. By the way, if you're a patron and you're watching this stream, I'm willing to get like somebody to jump in here. Mercury, maybe, I don't know, but he said he's out of the loop. But anyways, that's the last friend that I think I have hopping in here. But anyways, any final thoughts before I move on to this next topic, which is, I forgot about pre-orders, but I want to talk about Xbox All Access and the pre-order situation next. But before I do, is there any other thoughts about the pricing of Series X at $499 and Series S at $299? Joey just got back. Let's see. Brennan, honestly, I wouldn't have cared if the Series X was diskless to save even more. MacBooks have been diskless for like 7 years. That's the thing. And who knows, maybe they'll surprise people with that, but I don't know. I think they just want like the two different options for people to choose from. Whereas like, that's a good question. That's actually a good question to chat. Would you rather have there been a diskless Series X at like maybe $399? It probably would have been more like $449, like $50 or $100 cheaper. Would you rather have had that or save $200 to get something, like I said, another diskless thing, but it's just good for 1080p or 2K? Mercury, wait, the Series S has ray tracing? What? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And variable freaking frame rates. Mercury sucks if it has variable refresh rate. Would be really hard to change from 60 to 120, etc. That hurt my brain. Steffi, for as long as disk drive consoles are sold, I will always buy consoles with disk drives since I love to collect physical copies. That's me, Steffi. Like, I can't sacrifice a disk drive. Mostly because I want to put all my Blu-ray like movies in it. I want to be able to borrow discs from friends. Like I can't sacrifice a disc drive, but there's a lot of people that don't mind doing that. And Xbox has a neat way of sharing digital games, but Rice Man, we're going to get to his question in a moment. He's talking about Xbox All Access, but he says, Xbox All Access is a great plan for the casuals and cheap people. Microsoft going to be a phone company. Boy, we're about to get into that because I agree. Taylor, I wonder if PlayStation is feeling the pressure with this news or if they're thinking about either sweetening the deal or taking the hit. I'm definitely going to be hitting that in a moment as well, Taylor, but I really think like there's two different routes PlayStation can go from here, and I'm going to get to that. That's going to be like the closing of the stream. I have just one more thing I want to talk about with Xbox. And anything else you guys bring up. Let me just skim through these messages, and I'm going to get to this next topic. Let's see. I think I'm back. Keeps, man, I'm so sorry. Jethawk, hello, good sir. You missed all these crazy details, man. You missed EA Play being a part of Xbox Game Pass, which is freaking insane. The pricing has been confirmed for the Series X at $499. By the way, release date. We didn't talk about release date, but that is... Sorry, I just want to turn off this picture thing. There is an official release date now. Like, we saw the release date for the Series S, but now we know both these consoles are coming out November 10th. November 10th, which I believe is a Tuesday. Yep, that is a Tuesday, November 10th. So... we will see. Rumors has it that it's going to be out a week before PlayStation 5, which is going to be interesting. Crustard. Joey says, no, I need a disk drive. Crustard, I'm going to be the bad boy with Series X. Okay. Mercury, a Series X being $50 or $100 cheaper would imply a disk drive really costs that much. I can pop a disk drive through USB on my PC for $25. Yeah, that's true. Okay. So let's get to one more topic. Well, kids, we were having a whole chat about it on Twitter. What? One more topic. I am actually going to play a trailer for you guys that kind of encompasses everything I am saying. It encompasses everything I'm saying. And actually, wait, before that, live reaction here really quick. This says pre-orders start. I forgot, I didn't talk about this. I don't have too much to say, but pre-orders start September 22nd. That is, I need to mark that on my calendar. That is Tuesday as well. So I really need to mark that on my calendar. But I don't know where this link takes you. It's probably just like an Xbox Newswire post. Yep. Okay. So let's get into the next topic. But I'm just guessing that date we will have. Let's see. Orders. I see that down there. Xbox Series X. I'm like live reacting to this part, but the next part is the last thing I want to say about Xbox, and then we're going to talk about what the hell is Sony going to do. Xbox Series X, our most powerful console ever made, and Xbox Series X, next generation performance, and our smallest console ever, built at a more affordable price, launches globally November 10th. Pre-orders start September 22nd. And is there any other details about the pre-orders? Probably not. Yeah, okay, so probably on September 22nd, they will just launch a page for it. So that's what it looks like. But I want to play a certain trailer for you guys that is like encompassing all of this. Xbox All Access. It is absolutely insane what this is, okay? We're going to watch this together. But I need to remind you of everything. Because Xbox had a big blowout today. The prices, and let's actually talk about the games for a moment, but like the prices for these, $499, like $500 for the Series X, $300 for the Series S. Game Pass is a monthly subscription that costs, if you buy just Game Pass individually, it's $10. I think like $5 or $8 for PC. Or you could get Game Pass Ultimate for $15 a month, which is 100% the best deal, by the way. $15 a month. You get Game Pass Ultimate, which includes so many games from so many third-party publishers. That's how I played Doom. That's how I almost played Devil May Cry 5. That's how there's certain, like, I think there was like Metal Gear games on there. And of course, day one launches of everything from Xbox Game Studios, and they're publishing as well, like Tell Me Why, and they're getting exclusives like Warhammer on day one, Crossfire on day one, and adding, like, they're starting to dabble into the JRPG world as well, and they're eventually going to have Dragon Quest 11 on there. They have the entire, by the way, my fan base, they have the entire Kingdom Hearts collection on there, and you get all that for $15 a month and so much more on both PC and Xbox, and on your mobile device with xCloud included. And now, as of today, they added EA Play included with your Xbox Game Pass subscription, and now you have access to everything on EA Play, including Battlefront, Battlefield, Madden, FIFA, Dragon Age, Mass Effect, shit ton of games. And then this is the thing that seals the deal. This right here. Let's play it.
There's something you need to see.
Xbox All Access.
Now's the fun part!
Whoa.
Everything you need to play. Get an Xbox console of the next gen. Halo Infinite in every game you're seeing here with 24 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. A library of over 100 quality games. The online multiplayer, so like PlayStation Plus or whatever. With EA Play coming soon. No upfront cost at all. No interest either. They should have put on here as well. No interest. You pay $25 a month to get all of that shit. You get the next gen console, you get Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you get EA Play, all of those over the course of 2 years. You get all that for $25 every month, and you can pay for it all at once. But by the way, apparently, if you do it through the payment plan, if you're like, this mostly applies for like newer Xbox people that haven't like prepaid for a lot of months through like Game Pass Ultimate or whatever. But if you're already paying monthly, this actually saves you money, because this is if you add it all up together, like what Game Pass Ultimate would have costed over the course of 24 months, as well as how much like a Series S would cost, you save $60 in the long run. You save $60 if you bought both of those. If you only wanted one, then that's a different story. But if you got both of those, no interest, no upfront cost, you actually save $60 in the long run instead of paying more. There's a lot of people that are thinking Xbox is becoming like the like a phone, which is exactly like a phone plan, but there's no insurance, no interest, no bullshit. It is just here's your rate. And my friend brought up a really interesting question. I'm really curious if anybody here knows the answer to this question. Is there any tax? Is there any tax on Xbox All Access? Because if there's no tax, you're saving even more money. There has to be tax. There's no way there's not tax. But yeah, it's bonkers. It is bonkers. And for the Series X, by the way, it'll be $35 a month, and that one you only save $20. But still, you're saving. Technically speaking, This is the big thing to me. It blows my mind. And even if we're gonna get to PlayStation here next, but even if PlayStation undercuts, there is no beating this value. There's no beating it. Like, bring that Miguel person back in here again, the one that was like, hey, I just want to let you know your console sucks, bye. Like, bring them back in here. You can't argue this value. You just can't. You get day one launches that are Xbox exclusives, which they are now, like, even the past month alone, they had Wasteland 3 wasn't exclusive, but it was part of their studios. You got Wasteland 3, you got Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is like a 10 out of 10 game currently on a lot of review things. You got Battletoads, you got Tell Me Why, you got I don't really count this, but you got the preview program for Grounded. You got all 5 of those games this month for free if you are a Game Pass subscriber. And now they're adding EA Play. Everything I listed was just this month. And if you don't care about any of those, that's fine. We have a ton of other games that are third party for you. If you've never played Kingdom Hearts, here's Kingdom Hearts. If you've never played Final Fantasy, here's Final Fantasy. By the way, we got Dragon Quest coming. So that's what I mean. You can't beat this deal. There is no beating this deal. And that's why it's insane. Like, in the trailer, they highlight, like, yeah, you're going to get EA Play. You're going to get the console. You're going to get Game Pass. Like, you're going to get xCloud so you can play these games on the go and just pay $25 a month. It's crazy. That is an insane deal. That is just, that can't be beat in terms of value. Like, there's going to be a lot of people, and I keep teasing this, that are still going to get PlayStation 5s. But in terms of pure value, there is no beating that deal. I will talk about the genius strategy of that deal in a moment. But what are your guys' thoughts about that packaging? Let's see. Joey Strike, them adding EA Play to Game Pass Ultimate is insane. Like, damn. I can't believe that, dude. That's so insane. I really wish I could know the deals that Xbox does to make these things get included with Game Pass. But them acquiring EA Play, or not acquiring, but just partnering with them, it could be a temporary thing. It really could. But that trailer, they included in that trailer because they know that's a big deal. Jethawk, bro, this might be the move very, very soon. And that's what I mean. Here's the thing. PlayStation could totally just think of a deal like that. They have PlayStation Now, which is fine, but I don't know. They could, but I'm going to get to PlayStation in a moment, but I have some thoughts about what I believe certain things. Let's see. Crustard, great deal in my opinion. Joey Strike, not gonna lie, I was thinking about doing the all access plan. If subscriptions are taxed, then yes, but IDK if they are. I want to say they're taxed. I don't know. I'm really curious to find that out. But yeah, if somebody, it doesn't apply. So on a personal level, it doesn't apply to me because I already have like over 2 years worth of Game Pass Ultimate paid for. Fun fact. It's actually amazing. I abused that whole deal, which was another fucking stupid deal that Xbox was doing. I basically had a situation where me and tons of other people, we were able to figure out a way that we could just get like up to 3 years of Game Pass Ultimate for free. It was so insane. But yeah, I basically have Game Pass Ultimate up to like 2022. So it's like that deal doesn't necessarily apply to me because I have prepaid. But for the people that pay monthly or don't have any prepaid, yeah, this might be the deal for you. Jethawk, no way to beat this, man. Like, this value is god tier, and I very well might be getting this. It is, man. Mr. Earns, customers hearing a console $300. Gross. Customers hearing a console is $299. That's a bargain. That's funny. Tim Kirchhoff. I'll probably buy the Series S now instead of the PS5. I've been playing only on PlayStation and Nintendo since 2004. Wow, Tim. That's really cool to hear, man, because I'm about to get to it, but it does sadden me that like Xbox is really trying. They're really trying to reach out to people that they really just don't want to give them a chance. And it's like they've earned their chance so freaking hard. And then there's this whole thing about like, but they don't have any exclusives. Guess what? Ori and the Will of the Wisps, game that they published and created this year, 9 out of 10 reviews everywhere. Microsoft Flight Simulator, game they created and published, getting like 10 out of 10's review everywhere. 2 great exclusives that they created. And then they just got a handful of tons of others. Battletoads and Bleeding Edge were kind of 2 misses. But everything else, great. Or not great, but like at least good. But so far, we got 2 great exclusives that came out this year. And a ton of others that are just kind of around as well. So, yeah. And they're trying to like appeal to people. It's like, even if you don't want our exclusives, guess what? Through Game Pass, you could just play almost anything you want and always have something to play. But anyways, Joey, yeah, I might as well. It would help with saving up for a TV for next gen as well. By the way, where can I get one? I would vote Best Buy, Joey, in my opinion, but you might see some crazy good Black Friday deals. I saw something really awesome on Dell like 3 years ago. So Jethawk, after 24 months you get everything for free besides the Game Pass, right? Oh yeah. So by the time that, like, after your 24th payment, Jethawk, you have that console. You're not allowed to, like, if you want to sell the console, that's fine. But like, you have to pay it off, you know, like you have to pay it off. You sign a contract and everything very similar to a phone plan. But after the 24 months is paid, then you have to get Game Pass yourself after that. And here is the last thing I want to say about All Access, and then we're going to wrap this up about Sony. This is the genius thing about everything Xbox is doing. 100%. I'm about to get to this. 100%. PlayStation 5 is going to win the console war. They're going to win the console war. But Xbox knows that they make the most money with software. PlayStation does too. The money isn't made through the consoles, it's made through the games. And the software and DLC that people download, the microtransactions, blah, blah, blah. Like, it going through that platform, that's what makes them money. And that's why Xbox is like, it's fine if people want to play on their Androids. It's fine if they want to play it on their PCs. It's fine if they want to play on whatever Xbox they want. As long as they are in our ecosystem, that's awesome. Because we're providing them games and they pay us back. And with the strategy that they have with this Xbox All Access, and I hope this doesn't scare people away. I'm just now I'm getting to, instead of like a hyped gamer mode, I'm going to speak to you as like a businessman. This strategy is really genius because, again, whatever, PlayStation, go ahead and sell more consoles than us. This strategy, because once you, there's this statement like, you know, like I'm just going to reference this statement really quick. The whole, like, once you go black, you can never go back kind of a thing. Like, once you go Game Pass, you are going to see what the value is in that subscription. And once you actually try it out and start actively using it, it's like, how can I stop? I can't stop this service. And that's what happened to me. Like, granted, I'm not paying for it right now because I have it for like 2 years for free. But they know as long as people are playing using Game Pass, yes, you're paying a subscription thing, but you're also in their ecosystem. And especially if you get their digital console, you're going to have to buy games digitally through their ecosystem. Or even if you don't want to get an Xbox, you could just play games through the PC, but you still buy their games through their ecosystem if you get Game Pass, and then you could go to the Microsoft Store, and like it's probably not as thorough there because they know players on there can just go to Steam if they want to, but that's why they're starting to post their games to Steam as well. But it's like, and even xCloud, this service that you get through Game Pass Ultimate for free, which is amazing. You, good night, Jay Baker. Thanks for coming, man. You can play these games on your Android phone, anywhere, on the go. And I don't know, like that's more so just paying a Netflix thing. Like the PC thing, you could get in their marketplace. The xCloud thing with your Android, that one might be a bit more tricky. But with the Xbox All Access program, that is specifically designed to get you a Xbox specifically. And that is 2 years you are devoted to being an Xbox person. And 2 years you are willing to give it a chance. 2 years that you are getting day one access to Xbox Studios published games. 2 years that you are getting a lot of third-party games like JRPGs, sports games, shooters, fighting, and more. 2 years that you get discounts, by the way, on a lot of things in their marketplace. And 2 years of you having some of the most advanced built consoles around. And by the end of those 2 years, they hope to have won your trust and be like, look, we had a bad launch with the one. I know you're all about PlayStation, Nintendo, and PC now, but hopefully if you give this a chance at a very approachable way, you will give us a chance and realize how much goddamn value we are willing to give you. It's fucking genius. It's a genius plan, and I don't know, Microsoft is giving Xbox so much money to pull this off, but it's crazy. That's my final thoughts on All Access, and we're about to talk about what the hell is PlayStation gonna do next. That's gonna be the closing of this, but I want to hear what you guys think about that plan, the prices of Xboxes and everything before we get to this PlayStation thing. Such a freaking brilliant strategy. Risky, but brilliant, because I don't know how they can afford this. I really don't know. I don't know how Game Pass exists. Mr. Earns, they may be called Microsoft, but that's a big brain. Okay. Leo Rodriguez, I just play EA games, so it's perfect for me. There you go! Like that's Leo, that's a perfect example. If you mostly just play EA games, guess what? You might never have to buy one again. Because you could just get Game Pass Ultimate and play them that way. Nicholas Torres, good evening. When do you think the PS5 would release more information for the pre-order? We're about to get into that. Nicholas. So one moment, man. But thank you for coming by, dude. Let's see. Pretty Gissel. By the way, Mercury's asking, like, wait, what happened with that 3-year Game Pass plan? There was this whole thing, and it still might be around. I'd look into it, where it's like, get a $2 trial for Game Pass Ultimate, specifically Ultimate, if you've never done it before, and you get the trial, and then if you have a lot of prepaid months of gold before you get the console, before you get that trial, like pay $5 I don't know. I don't want to explain. Basically, look up on YouTube how to get 3 years of Game Pass Ultimate. It's a complicated system, but it's basically you upgrade a bunch of prepaid things for free. That's basically it. It's basically like I spent $120 and turned it into $360. That's basically what I did. Good night, Tim. Thank you for coming by, man. Adrian, do you think the Series S having 512 gigabyte storage is a good amount or not enough. Adrian, we actually talked about this earlier, man, but I do want to plug you into my most recent video I did. I talked about this earlier, but also I talked about it in that video. Games are getting smaller. SSDs kind of changed the game, but more of that is earlier on the stream, but also in the previous video I did. PlayStation is pulling their 20K gold PS5 for 15K. Jethawk Keeps, thank you so much. I'm so happy I found your channel, man, because talks with you are forever good, man, and you are one of the people who kept convincing me to get an Xbox. And for the record, like, and thank you for that message, Jethawk. Thank you very much for that, man. That means a lot to me. I don't want to convince you guys to get an Xbox because I got blocked by, I think, like a PlayStation content creator, because I must have like just ticked him off. I have no idea who the person is, but I just like discovered it the other day, and it's like I definitely can see me being like personified as an Xbox boy, which is true because I've owned all of them and I've always been on them, so it's like what I'm accustomed to. But that doesn't mean I love what PlayStation is doing as well. There's actually a lot of things about PlayStation I actually like a lot better. Okay? And it's like, I don't care. If you want to get a PS5, that's cool. If you want to get an Xbox Series S or X, that's cool too. It doesn't matter to me. Like I just like to... The main reason I can't stop talking about Xbox is because these crazy deals they're doing. These deals are just straight up like a middle finger to every other publisher out there. And it's like, we're making our shit so easy to access. Fuck you guys for making it hard. Like, it's crazy what they're doing. And it's just like a more interesting story because Xbox is taking these leaps and strides to, improve as well. It's like they're a more compelling story to me to talk about than PlayStation is, because it's like PlayStation, they're good. They're not the interesting movie, because in a movie, you want to see a person that struggles. You want to see them fall. You want to see them rise and overcome whatever their big obstacle is. PlayStation, it's like they don't really have any obstacles. They're good. We're about to talk about it, but they're good, and it's like, that's why it's like, I like to talk about the underdog, and I 100% admit Xbox is the underdog and they are trying. And that's why I'm like rooting for them, man, to not beat PlayStation, but just to really get people's trust back. And I feel like they've earned it. I see Bamagura 127. Game Pass also works for PC. Exactly. It does. Okay. So, Tim, did you already mention that they announced this on the 25th anniversary of PSX? What? I just found your channel, by the way. You seem like a cool person. Subscribe. Well, thank you very much, Tim. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. I don't know. I didn't mention anything about the anniversary of PSX. And Joey Strike is mentioning that there's over 10 million Game Pass subscribers. They've been saying that throughout the whole year. So who knows? Maybe they're at like 11 million now. I know you don't want to convince, but I honestly feel you're really just saying the truth. That's all I'm trying to do, Jethawk. Like, I'm not trying to like sway people. It's just, I can't help but like talk about this. It's more of like a gushing. It's just like, and I appreciate you guys listening. And it's also, I'm hoping to save people some money too. Xbox is literally just saying, I don't care who you are, just please buy our stuff. That's really it. Don't even buy our stuff. Just get in our ecosystem and we will treat you well. We will treat you well if you get in our ecosystem. That's basically what they're doing. Okay. Now, what is PlayStation's next move? I've seen these funny memes about like Yu-Gi-Oh where y'all move, whatever. What is PlayStation gonna do? So, one more message here. I see Nicholas. I'm getting a PlayStation 5 because it has a lot of exclusives. I have a family and friends who play it as their main system. But later on, I am, interested in buying the $300 Xbox for having some games I like. So, Nicholas and my buddy Matt brought up good points earlier. They brought up good points. And, sorry, I'm just like seeing something. They brought up good points. That is, PlayStation still has their exclusives. And the reason why I don't talk about PlayStation is because I know they're good. And there's a lot of people, like, I really wish I could have a guest of just like how I did earlier for just like 5 minutes, you know? I wish I could have my patron Nato on here, because Nato, if he's lurking here, man, I freaking appreciate you. Thank you so much for being a patron for as long as you have. I enjoy our debuttals, or whatever you want to call them. He is, like, for sure on the PlayStation side of things, and I respect that. Like, that's awesome. And I love to hear him gush about it if he does. And he doesn't have any comments about me on Xbox, but, like, I forgot where I was going with that. I was really going somewhere with that. I wasn't just trying to shout him out. Basically, the thing... he said that's what I was building up to, is that earlier in our Discord, our patron Discord, he said, which you can join, by the way. I love that. Thank you so much. He mentions, like, all of us are talking about the Xbox news today, and his only comment is, I'm just waiting for PlayStation to undercut, and he smiles. And he's just like joking around. They probably will. They're not going to undercut that Series S. They're not going to undercut that Series S. What they will undercut is the Series X. They will. And that's fine. That's fine, because Xbox has set themselves up in a way that's like, here's our, like, lower experience, and here's our premium experience. And that premium experience is at a very affordable price. What that console is, that thing should be like $800. I am absolutely shocked it's $500. I was expecting all these consoles to be like at the $599 range. So I get an extra $100 to put towards my new TV, baby. But PlayStation could undercut. And it really does... It kind of bugs me that Xbox took so long to announce this price, and they were forced to announce it because of the leak, whatever, because they've been so bold this whole time, and they have a value that's so strong. And PlayStation doesn't really need to undercut Xbox. That's my statement. PlayStation doesn't need to undercut Xbox, because it's like Nicholas is saying. It's like my buddy Matt is saying. It's like if I get my buddy Tyus Mavolio on here, there's so many people. I got a lot of people. I have a neat idea, by the way, later on in the month, that will vouch, you know, just like those PlayStation exclusives are so rad. And they are. And Xbox is trying to work their way up. They've gotten all these studios now that are working on things, and they'll hopefully over these 2 years earn your trust with that. But PlayStation already has that trust. They know that they have you with Ratchet and Clank. They know they have you with Horizon Zero Dawn. They know they have you with Last of Us. They know they have you with Naughty Dog. They know they have you with the Demon Souls, whatever. Like, they know they have you. So my question is, why would they feel the need to undercut unless they felt threatened? Do you feel threatened, PlayStation? Do you? Because they really don't have to be. It's really unfortunate to me that even with everything we talked about this stream, even with EA Play being included with Game Pass Ultimate, even with you being promised like at least seven platform exclusives released a year, it's going to be more like over a dozen, to be honest. Even with all these things Xbox is promising, and even with having the most powerful system there is, people will still get PlayStation because that's where their heart is. That's where they are trusting. And Pretty Jissel, thank you very much. Here's the quality content and those muscles. Thank you very much, Pretty Jissel. Super appreciate that.
Here's the quality
so much.
content and those muscles. Haha.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jissel. But yeah, I just think that PlayStation, they're going to still try to undercut, and they're going to be like, here's the PlayStation 5. Or they're going to start with this. Here's the PlayStation 5 digital for $399. That middle ground. And here's the base PlayStation 5 for $449. That's going to be awkward for them to say $449, but I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to be like $449 and $339. The reason is just because they're going to live that middle ground. They can't undercut $299. There's no way. They can't. There's no way. But there is a part of me that truly believes that they understand that people are they're still going to sell the most consoles. And because of that, They're just going to price it at $499. They're just going to match their base model with Series X at $499. Now they know they can't go any higher than that, though. They know that they can't go any higher than $499. But if they match that price, even though their system is just a little bit less, it's pretty much the same, but the Series X is a little bit better of a system, just a little bit. But still, they know they have that audience. They have those exclusives. They have reasons that you will only experience this thing on their console. They're taking the much more traditional approach. They're not necessarily trying to be modern or ain't trying to fix what ain't broke, you know. They feel safe. But if they price it at $449 and $399, they feel threatened. So that's my take. If they price the base console, like with the disc drive, at $499, they feel safe. If they price it at $449, they feel threatened. That's my personal take. I have more to say on that, but we'll see. We shall see. I will say the thing that PlayStation 5 still has the big edge on, other than their audience, like, you know, having so much like already established trust with them. And that's what I think Xbox All Access is trying to do. Like, great, you got your trust with PlayStation over these years. I hope we can get your trust through this 2-year period you give us. And I think that's what they're trying to do. But we'll see. Crustard. God of War, let me say one more thing. The one advantage that PlayStation 5 has now over Xbox is they have better launch stuff. Because right now, Xbox is still launching with the biggest catalog ever, but that's only because of their backwards compatibility. PlayStation 5 is going to launch with new titles, which is awesome, but in terms of the backwards compatibility, they're not going to have very much. So that's going to be like the one thing is like I have an entire debate that this is going to be for another discussion for another time, but I got to admit, I feel like PlayStation folks, they don't mind just throwing money at PlayStation. Give me those exclusives and give me those new titles. Because meanwhile, Xbox is all about playing previous titles and some news that are sprinkled throughout the year. But especially at launch, just backwards compatibility. So that is the one advantage they have with Miles Morales, and Ratchet & Clank will be in the launch window. And I don't know if Demon's Souls was confirmed, but yeah. Meanwhile, Xbox no longer has Halo Infinite, so I really hope at launch Xbox announces Gears Tactics and Microsoft Flight Simulator will be available day one. I really hope they announce that, but we'll see. What are your guys' thoughts about all this? Let me know here. I did see Crustard about God of War. We will see, dude. We will see. I do wish, Rice Man, I wish Sony had a black PS5. Jethawk, what do you really mean by undercut? Just trying to like have a lower price point. Jethawk, that's what undercut means. Joey, my prediction is the Series S will stay the cheapest. Then the PS5 digital, then both the Series X and PS5 will be equal price. I'm still on the boat though. If they keep their price at $499, I'm sure that's their intent right now. Their intent is to be $499, but if they try to undercut, dude, I feel like that means they're threatened. They feel threatened, which they have no reason to be. People are still going to buy PlayStation 5s. Even though they could save a shit ton of money on Xbox, people are still going to buy PlayStation 5s. Let's see. Robert Gavin, Naughty Dog has lost a bit of my trust. Dude, I just want to shout out Last of Us 2. I played that shit recently. That was the best narrative I have played in so many years. That game was freaking awesome. I am in strong disagreement with the fans about that. I have a full-on Patreon podcast about that. It's the longest Patreon podcast I have ever recorded, actually. Let's see. Adrian, Xbox, here are our awesome prices. Beat that. PlayStation and Palpatine voice. My dear boy. We don't need to beat that because they are going to buy whatever the hell we put out. I do think PlayStation is making a smart move this week. They're focusing on VR. If you notice this week, they're showcasing a lot of their VR stuff. That's another thing they have the advantage of, which is so dumb because Xbox, they could easily do VR, but they don't. I don't know why they don't. They could easily do VR, but they don't. They have the most powerful console now. Why don't they? They I don't know. They said it's not on the plate right now, but that's the only fun fact, like another transparent just me moment. I'm actually on the fence. Like I admit I'm just going to get the Series X most likely cuz I just can't argue with that value that they got. But like I'm actually partly on the fence just because of the VR. Like yes, I want to play Ratchet and Clank. Yes, I want to play Miles Morales, but I want VR. And I really, really wish Xbox had VR. If they did, then it's like 100% Xbox. But right now, it's like 55% Xbox because of the value. But I really, really want that VR. Let's see. Nicholas Torres, I'm interested in the $299 Xbox because it has 500 gigabyte and theirs is like 3 games. I like... We'll see. I'm really curious about that storage, man. Rice Man, I think Sony releases both PS5 versions in November 5th. Somebody asked a question about that earlier. I think we'll see. I don't know. I have no idea. It's going to be November as well, but we'll see. That's a good question though. If being ahead of each other, like let's ignore prices, is like being the first to launch a significant factor. That's a good question. Capone, if I do get an Xbox, I'm getting Warhammer, Tales of Arise, and Scarlet Nexus. Scarlet Nexus looks pretty dope. That's not an Xbox exclusive, but did they... I don't remember if they said that was a Game Pass day one launch. I don't think so, but that game does look dope. And Warhammer, your next Warhammer game, that is a day one launch on Game Pass, which is pretty crazy. Catched, I'm not sure how to say that name. Did you check Game Pass library? Game sucks. PlayStation Now looks much better. I strong disagree, man. Thank you for trolling, but strong disagree. Game Pass is 100% like, I won't get into that, but basically disagree, buddy. Jethawk, I honestly have to try. I experience that library every day. Jethawk, I honestly have to try that out with the new controller too, because it's going to be so different. Oh my God. VR on PlayStation with their haptic feedback controller. That's what I mean. I gotta hand it to PlayStation for being the most innovative one. Like Xbox as a platform and ecosystem is taking way more strides than anybody in the history of the gaming industry. 100%. In terms of their ecosystem. Way more strides. But I gotta hand it to PlayStation for like their innovation that they're trying to do with these controllers and keeping VR. I gotta hand it to them. Mercury, all right, I gotta get ready for work. Have a good day at work, Mercury. Sorry I missed you, man. Epic Replays says $449, I bet. I think so. I think that's what they're gonna do. But I don't see why PlayStation needs to feel threatened by Xbox. Like, I feel like they should be threatened, but we all know they don't need to be. Like, look at all these polls everywhere. Look at Koch, who just came in earlier, as well as Miguel. There's a lot of people on the PlayStation bandwagon that are being really harsh to Xbox folks. He wasn't being harsh, by the way. Miguel was, but not Koch. He was just saying he likes PlayStation Now better. But there's so many like hardcore PlayStation folks that are like making it a mission to boast about this. And I'm not labeling that. There's bad people on the Xbox side as well. There's bad people on both sides that are just trying to like troll the other side. But I'll tell you what, it just doesn't matter at this point. Like, Xbox is really trying to compete more with Google and Amazon than PlayStation. That's really what they're trying to do. They were not kidding when Phil Spencer said that. And that $449 thing, if PlayStation says that, I am actually going to laugh a bit because I'm just like, dude, that means they feel threatened. And I am actually surprised because I don't feel like they should feel like they need to be threatened. They have plenty of their own kind of value. They have their own kind of value with their exclusives, their trust that they've already built, the VR coming, and they got lots of stuff too. Pretty Jissel, I'd love to have VR on Xbox. I would love that. I really would. If they announce VR for Xbox, then I'm just done. That's it. I'm done. That 55% jumps up to like 85. 80. 75. Let's see. VR is cool, but not something that make me buy a system. That's me, Joey. It's like I like the added benefit. It's kind of like, let me put it this way: if Xbox didn't have Game Pass and PlayStation didn't have VR, that's actually a good question. If Xbox didn't have Game Pass and PlayStation didn't have VR, I would have to think about that one. That's a good one. It's like those included just make both the systems all the more better to me, but that's just me. That's just me. When I get an Xbox, Nicholas, when I get an Xbox, I'm getting Stalker 2, day one launch on Game Pass, State of Decay 3, day one launch on Game Pass, and Fable, day one launch on Game Pass. Yep. Besides FGO, what other VR games PS got? A lot. There's some weird Kingdom Hearts one. There's the Astro Playbot thing. Hitman is coming to VR. There's going to be the Star Wars Rogue Squadrons. There's a lot of things. Steffi, no matter $449, $499, I'll be so relieved when PlayStation confirms a price under $500. I mean, $499 is basically $500, but you know. Now that Xbox revealed their price first, I wonder if PlayStation originally priced their console over $500. I don't think so. Like I would love to know, but I really don't think so. I think both companies knew if they went over 500, then it'd be really risky. Because like the PlayStation 3 back in the day did that and it did not work out. So yeah, and we'll see. I don't think they intended that. They would have liked to, but I don't think they intended that. Steffi, I expect $100 difference between PlayStation 5 and its digital edition. They might do that to entice fans. If they do, yeah, that could be a $350 and a $450 situation, or a $449 and a $339. But honestly, a disc drive, they're not that expensive. They're like $30, give or take. They're not that expensive to install. And those systems don't like have as noticeable of a difference as like the Xbox ones do. So I don't think they would go over a $50 difference. They could, but I don't know. They could. Jet Hawk. Well, you know what? They actually could make the PS5 digital $100 cheaper, because just like Xbox, they know the money is in the software. And if people buy an all digital PlayStation 5, that means that they expect that person to only buy through their ecosystem, because that's the commitment of a digital console. You're not going to like Target, Walmart, borrowing games from friends. They know the only way you are playing games on that system is buying them digitally at whatever price they have in their marketplace. That I didn't think of that. That could be like their justification. Like, yeah, it only costs $30 to put in a disc drive. We're gonna lose a lot of money here on each sale, but we'll make it back from each buyer, hopefully, over the year, kind of a thing. I didn't think of that. Let's see. We're going to start wrapping up here in a moment. Looks cool, but it ain't looked home today. We didn't really talk about designs, but I will say I think I do like the PlayStation 5 designs more, but it honestly, it doesn't bug me however these things look. All that matters is what's inside and the games that I get to play on them. Nicholas, I'm about to head out, man. I'll make sure to sub. I enjoyed your thoughts on both sides. You take it easy. Good night and God bless. Good night, man. Thank you very much for coming by, Nicholas. Appreciate that, dude. Welcome to the channel. And that's what I mean. Like, I'm not looking to bash either side, because seriously, the biggest thing I love about PlayStation is that they are embracing the exclusivity of what their console can do. Yes, the Series X is a more beefier system, but the problem is that they're not going to fully utilize it until they have exclusives for that system. PlayStation 5 out of the gate is going to 100% use their system. That is the big thing I give the PlayStation 5. Like, there's multiple factors. And just like a phone, it's just like a phone. There's some things more valuable about each side. This one allows you to upgrade your mini memory card. This one takes better video. Which one's more important? You know, it's something like that. Yuka-san, I just hope in the long term we get more and better games than the last generation. It's been a long time since I've actually been excited for a game. Fair, man. Like, the beginning of this generation isn't going to be too exciting, but I will give it to PlayStation because they got Miles Morales now. And that's why I'm saying I really hope Xbox, they, like, make Gears Tactics and Microsoft Flight Simulator, like, day one launches for Xbox because they're already on PC. Let's see. All I want for the new Xbox Epic Replays is to have their super confusing I love their dashboard, dude. I love the Microsoft OS. It is so damn tasty to me. But that's just me. See Joey, I'll catch up later. The Series X dashboard already got revealed. Yeah, and it's pretty much like this. It's the same, just a little bit more updated. And Rice, man, he brings up a good point. I can't believe the PlayStation exclusives are coming to PC in the future. Yeah, man, they are, and that's just because it's like I said, they know the money is in the software, and people like to bash Xbox for having their games on PC now, but it's like PlayStation's. It's not going to be within the next year, but I guarantee you, like 3 or 4 years from now, we're going to see almost every PlayStation game available on PC. I can nearly guarantee you that. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap up here. I need to highlight something here. I'm a little bit disappointed that I did not because Pretty Gissel donated earlier, and I apologize. I did not have I'm not used to people donating in my YouTube streams. There we go. Pretty Gissel. There you go. Latest donation. I appreciate that. I'm very disappointed that I didn't have that highlighted because I like to highlight when people support the channel. But I need to get to bed, man. But I appreciate everybody listening to me gush about this because there's so many video ideas that I could have done today, but this is just my outlet. And if you're watching the replay of this, then I hope you enjoyed this podcast, if you will. And I will see you tomorrow on Twitch, where I will be playing Paper Mario for the first time, the Origami King. And I just appreciate your guys' opinions. And feel free to tweet me all the more of your opinions and to chat with me in our Discord from patrons. Thank you so much for coming by. And don't forget to be geek, be proud, and be awesome. Catch you later.